Hey everyone, this week's project is going to be a pretty quick and simple one. It's going to be this table. I built this a while ago. Just a quick project because we sold a table or something. I can't remember what happened, but I had to build it in a hurry. So I built this one, and the finish on it was terrible. I didn't like it. It's a fast drying Minwax Spar Helmsman something other, and it was terrible. Like, I don't like fast drying urethanes because they don't seem to level out as good, and they leave streaks and ridges and things like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this thing and strip it down back to the wood and then refinish it. So I've done a couple of tests here. There's this here with the sanding, and this here with the heat gun and the scraper. Both of those methods were not super effective. Probably the scraper was the most effective, but it took a long time. It'll take forever to do that table. So what I've done some research on it. There's chemical strippers you can use, but as per normal, nobody says what chemical strippers you can use or what you can use. And you know what? I don't really like using the chemicals anyways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a belt sander with a really low grit. Like, I've got a 40 grit belt, and I'm going to try that, and hopefully the grit's big enough that it won't gum up the sandpaper, and I can strip that off fairly quickly and easily and then refinish it. So that will be this week's project. So obviously I'm going to sand with the grain. Makes the most sense, because if it actually does work, there's going to be some pretty big gouges in there, and I don't want to have to do a crosscut kind of sanding afterwards to smooth it out. So we're going to give her a shot. So far so good. It's coming off pretty good. It's not plugging up the belt, or the sanding belt, so we should be good. Problem I see is when it warms up, and when it warms up it gets soft, and it kind of doesn't want to sand. So I'll probably just swap sides here and give this the time to cool off, to sand off better, and then do this one. So it's looking not too bad. I don't know how far to go exactly. I think that white is still the poly. Obviously this is wood. So I'm gonna go until I don't see any more white, I think is what I'm gonna do. So that's obviously bare wood. That's still covered by the poly. Okay, so I did do a cross this way. Just too many valleys and bumps, and actually it smoothed it out pretty good, and I think it's good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put on a 120 belt, and I'm going to start crossways and then go with the grain, and then I'll finish off with the palm sander. Okay, so that actually turned out pretty well. I'm going to leave the top. I'm going to probably use the palm sander, I think. Do 120 of the palm sander to 220, maybe even 320. Right now, I'm just going to go around the edge here with the palm sander at 60 grit. I don't want to use a belt sander because it's a pretty thin little strip on there. And I don't want the belt sander to blow through that, so that's what I'm going to do next. Okay, so I think I'm happy with that. Next step is going to be 120 palm sander all the way around, and then 220, 320. So we'll get to that next and see how that goes. Got pretty high hopes, actually. It looks pretty good. So before I continue on with the sanding, I got a little blemish that I got to fix up on the table, and I'll show you that. So that's it right there. I just had some really thin strips that I cut and wrapped around the table and then just glued in place. So something happened. I mean, either it was too soft or too wet, dried out. I don't know. Anyways, it buckled. So I'm gonna fix that, I think. So I think I used 2 strips all the way around here, and I cut them at an angle like this. So that's what I'm gonna do with this. I'm gonna cut at an angle, relieve that pressure, and then glue it up. Okay, so I got my glue and sawdust concoction, and we're just gonna fill it all in with that. That's what it looks like. I packed it all in there, should be good. That's with the side. That should sand off really nice. So I'm going to take the tabletop off and sand down the legs and just redo those, just get them a quick sand and probably a quick varnish. So you can see the difference here. I'm going to show you the pictures here. And you can see the difference between what that helmsman spur, whatever it was, finished it to change that wood looking yellow. I didn't want it to look yellow. I didn't realize it was going to look that yellow. After I put it on and looked it up, and a lot of people had the same complaint about it looking yellow. So anyways, it's white now, and you can see in the pictures the big difference. Okay, so I think I finally have the staining figured out. I did a bunch of test staining on some old scrap pieces I had of spruce and balsam, which is what the table is made out of. And I think I'm going to go with the red mahogany. Now, I did a Google search for a wooden table with black legs just to see what kind of tabletop showed up, and I kind of like the red. It's a bit oddball, but I don't think it's too oddball. So anyways, that's what I'm going to do. And regardless, once I start, it's going to be too late. That's what I'm going to be stuck with. Here we go. The biggest challenge is to not get this on myself. Wife gets a little mad when I get stain and paint all over myself. Okay, well, I'm not disappointed with the way that looks. It actually looks pretty decent, I think. Give it 5 minutes or so, I'll wipe it off and see what it looks like. Hopefully it's going to be good. Okay, it's been 24 hours. That stain is cured pretty good, and it actually looks as good, if not better. So that is it. Gonna put on the final finish. Looks milky when applied, and it dries clear and rock solid. Okay, it looks not too bad. Gonna let that cure for maybe a couple hours, put on another coat, and then maybe 2 more hours, put on another one, and that's gonna be it. Hopefully it doesn't have any big grooves or ridges in it, but my experience with this stuff says it's gonna be pretty good, so I hope so. Okay, so I got 2 coats on now, putting the third and final one on. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna use an actual bristle brush for this one. The foam brush seemed to do pretty good, lots of bubbles. I'm hoping that the foam brush, or the bristle brush for the last coat, won't leave the bubbles behind. It's not even bad, so I'm just gonna try it and see, but it'll be the last coat, 3 of 3, and that will be good. I like the way it looks so far. Okay, so that's it, the third and final coat. Not the greatest, I don't think, but we'll find out when it's completely cured. Okay, it's been about 24 hours and it's all cured now. Now the thing is, it didn't turn out quite the way I hoped it would. It's still streaky. It's not quite as bad as the other stuff, but I'll show you. I don't know if you can see it on here, not all that well, but there are streaks and brush strokes and whatnot. So I have a new plan. Because this is a water-based varnish or finish, I'm gonna thin it down a tiny bit with some cold water, because I think it was probably pretty warm. It was pretty warm yesterday when I was doing this, and I think it just cured too fast, even though it's inside. So I've got some cold water, and I'm gonna thin it, and hopefully that'll allow it to smooth and settle out without streaking. I don't know, it's an idea, and I'm gonna give it a shot. Hopefully it works. So this is normal consistency, so I'm gonna try to get it somewhat thinner. Okay, I'm happy with this. That consistency actually looks pretty good. I hope it works out well. Find out soon. Okay, so that is it done. I think it actually looks pretty decent. One of 3 things anyways. It's either gonna be good, it's gonna be shitty, or it's gonna be no different. Right now it's anybody's guess. You can kind of see where the streaks are and how they look on here. I hope those will kind of level out and smooth out as it dries off. But we'll come back in a bit and see. And the dried / cured version. It actually looks pretty good. So another mini project done. Again, same old thing, finishing, not my forte. A lot of this isn't my forte, that's my least of my forte. I didn't even know if you could thin that very thin. I did look it up, and some people said yes, some said no. So I think, well, it's water-based, I mean, you gotta be able to thin it. So I did, and it seems to have worked out. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you do like this channel and what you're seeing here, please subscribe. Thank you.